I found a snapping turtle, a smaller Florida snapper, and that animal had its nose bitten off. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna find it. I'm gonna show you how these animals can survive, how tough they are, but what animal is biting my turtles' faces off? We may have to get into the big pond and try and find who the culprit is. Hey, what's going on everyone? Kenan here. And man, today we got a mystery going on. Basically, this pond is where I keep all kinds of turtles. There are turtles from Asia. We got the giant Asian pond turtles. We've got Orlidia. We've got African mud turtles. We've got sliders. We've got just a hodgepodge of turtles in here. And by and large, everything is usually pretty cool. Not a lot of issues, not a lot of mortalities. I kind of let nature take its course, but there's a bit of a mystery. If you guys will remember, if you watched the Kamp Kenan Army channel, a couple weeks ago, I found an African mud turtle whose face was essentially bit in half, and it was a total bummer. Basically, this animal, as tough as it was, had to be put out of its misery. The eyes were damaged, its mandible, the maxilla was split in half. It was just horrible. Today, while feeding some turtles, I found a snapping turtle, a smaller Florida snapper, and that animal had its nose bitten off. I grabbed it and threw it in the recreation pond, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in, we're gonna find it. I'm gonna show you how these animals can survive, how tough they are, but also I'm hoping that in the coming weeks, we're gonna be able to find out what animal is biting my turtles' faces off. So that's now the second animal I found. I don't want to keep doing this, and we may have to get into the big pond and try and find who the culprit is. So right now, we're going to go in the water here, and we're going to look for this turtle. I had to put it somewhere. I got my wetsuit on, as you can see, and we got to get in. And it's not going to be pleasant because it's a little chilly. So let me just wipe the spit on there, and let's do this. You guys just stay right there. Oh God, it's cold. Whew. Oh yeah. Oh, that's cold water. Oh yeah. Okay, anyway, let's get job done here. We gotta find ourselves a snapping turtle. Ooh, yeah, seriously, I'm going to be dealing with major shrinkage here, people. I want to get this animal found and get on with it. But the pond does look really nice today, actually. When the water's cooler, it's actually clearer. And look what I spy right here. It's the female snapping turtle. Now watch this. Look at that little pug nose. This is a problem, guys. As I was mentioning, something is biting the noses and faces off of my turtles. This is the second turtle I found. This is kind of a bummer. Now, she seems to be doing okay, but I just want to make sure by having her in this pond, I can see how she behaves underwater and make sure that everything looks good and she can take care of herself. Because as I've mentioned in past videos, hey little gal, funny thing about these guys is they're actually more calm under the water. But I also noticed that her tail has a bit of a stump as well, and that looks like it's somewhat fresh within a couple of months. So anyway, the reason I want to make sure she's okay is so that when I put her back in the pond, she can handle herself. And there's a little bit more of that pugnacious spirit that we see out of these snapping turtles. But look at this, how cool she swims. God, I love snapping turtles. This was one of the first turtles I ever kept when I was a young boy up in Long Island. They're so prehistoric looking with their long tails and then those tubercles on their necks. I just love it. The good news is that she seems to be behaving normally. I gotta get a quick breath of air and then it's back down to see what she's up to. I like the way they just move across the bottom of the pond. Any kind of waterway, that's what they're gonna be doing. They really walk across the bottom. They're not the strongest of swimmers, but they don't need to be because they like to live in slow moving areas. Oxbows, swamps, stagnant ponds. Very rarely are you gonna see them anywhere there's a fast current. But the good news is that this gal, well, she's, besides needing a nose job, she's actually looking pretty good and behaving normally. Unlike the African mud turtle that I had a little while ago. Now, I don't want her to go into this cave, so I'm going to grab her and just kind of pull her back a little bit. I don't want to be fussing around for her because, like I said, I'm going to have to either put her back in the main pond or I'm going to find a new home for her. I haven't decided exactly what I want to do, but nonetheless, it is still a cool opportunity for us to see how these animals behave in this aquatic environment. She's got such a crazy face now. And the only thing I can think of, guys, is that there's a larger snapping turtle in this pond. Could it be my snapping turtle Clyde, whom I haven't seen for many, many years? It's entirely possible. He's a common snapping turtle that I got in October, actually hatched him in October of, what is it? Gosh, that was 1998 when I hatched him. Holy smokes, October of 98. So he's got to be a large turtle by now if he's still alive and in that pond. Like I said, I haven't seen him for a long time. It's possible he is the culprit, but somebody is a serial face biter in that pond, and I've got to get to the bottom of this. Otherwise, though, you can really see how beautiful she is. Now, one thing I want you guys to notice is look on her neck. Those tubercles are extremely long. And that's how you tell the difference between the Florida snapping turtle and the common snapping turtle. Common snappers aren't going to have such spikes on their necks like that. So that's one of the ways you can tell whether or not you've got a Florida or common snapping turtle. She looks pretty good to me, even with the new, the facial rearrangement. I know I'm cracking wise here, guys, but I am definitely concerned, and I want to find out what the heck's going on. But the good news is she looks okay. She's healed up nicely. This is not going to affect the way she lives her life or gets her food. She's still got a working mouth, and she's still able to breathe, as we'll see in a little bit when I pull her out of the water. For now, I'm just enjoying watching her explore this recreation pond. Another thing to notice is how the algae grows on their shells. This really helps them camouflage, and my gosh, they are just perfect ambush predators. Let's get her out, and I can show you up close what's going on. All right. Whew. All right, so here she is, and it is a female. So as you can see, she did have some damage to the top part of her beak, top part of her jaw. That's the maxilla. The lower part of the jaw is called the mandible. So clearly something got the tip of her right there and broke it off. Also, we noticed a wound that is healed over here. It's got to be a couple months old because it's still kind of pink, and that's on her tail. So there's something up. Somebody is big and bad in that big pond and is getting some of these turtles, which is a bummer. I'm gonna have to figure out what it is. This is just so crazy. Gosh, gonna have to wait for warmer weather rather, so I can start feeding the animals and see who the culprit is. I'm guessing it's gonna be a larger snapping turtle of some kind. So I'm gonna have to find that animal and kind of get moving on someplace else if he's that aggressive. So, man, you know, sometimes you can keep snapping turtles with other turtles if they're well fed, but obviously this guy, for whatever reason, is pretty aggressive. And this is now the second turtle I found with this type of injury, and I don't want it to keep going. This little gal got away easily. That mud turtle definitely didn't. All right, guys, well, I've got a lot of work to do here on the farm, and I just want to keep you abreast as to what's going on. And we've got a mystery, and hopefully in the coming weeks I'll be able to solve it. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad I found this little gal. I'm gonna kind of put her, well, I might just leave her in this pond, to be honest, I'm not sure. But anyhow, very interesting thing going on here. We're gonna keep an eye on it, and I hope you guys will be along for the ride. I will certainly keep you guys abreast of the situation. All right, everyone, we'll see you soon. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you later. So long.